I used to wake up on January 1st each year terrified. Where would the books come from? Think about it. I started the company, there were no books, there was no money, there was me, and the company started. And then there were books, and then there were people, and then there was money, and then there was all these other things that make up an endeavor. But where are the books to come from? They all come out of the imaginative process, don't they? Well, one of our authors, Jeannie mentioned, Harish Johari, has done 11 books for us. I think it was maybe 12 years or so into the company. He invited me to a dinner party in Greenwich Village to sell me on his cookbook, his Ayurvedic cookbook, which we eventually published. But at that point, we weren't publishing cookbooks. And I said, I'm not going to publish a cookbook. He said, well, come to the dinner party anyway, and I'll cook you some food. I said, okay, great. So I went down there, and it was really great food. And I'm sitting at the table, enjoying the meal. And there's this, Harish is at the head of the table, I'm to his right, and right to my right is this very attractive woman. Anyway, the conversation turns around to how did inner tradition succeed, right? And, everyone's sort of looking at me, and I can see that the woman next to me is admiring me, and this is puffing my feathers up, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And in that sort of pregnant moment of silence before I get to say how wonderful I am, Harish jumps in and goes, it was luck. I was there for the whole thing. He's a lucky guy. Well, that shut me up. Deflated me, feathers have retracted, I'm humbled, there's nothing I can say. But, it got me to thinking, what is luck? Well, it comes from either the Dutch or the German, 15th century, Glück, meaning happiness or good fortune. Then it moved on to the Middle English, where it became luck, and it is tied to prosperity or divine favor rather than random chance. In the Jewish tradition, the definition of good luck is viewed through the lens of divine providence and blessings rather than sheer chance. Mazel tov literally means good constellations. The term is used to express congratulations for a happy occasion, a birth, a milestone, to wish good luck and good fortune. I'm now in the process of handing the publishing company over to the next generation. But how can I pass on the luck? Well, for guidance on how to get lucky, we can look to Inner Tradition's publishing program in the Hindu tradition. For followers of the Sanatana Dharma, Lakshmi is the goddess of luck. However, to find Lakshmi, to attract Lakshmi, you have to please two other goddesses. You've got to please the women, I tell you. It's always like that. There was one time I was the only guy in the company, really. And it's still that way. You see, we all work for Jeannie, basically. Okay, so, and
I'm glad you clarified that. That's really good. It's good.
I'm clear. It took me a few years, but I'm clear. Okay. So if you want to get lucky, if you want Lakshmi to come visit, right, you need to please Parvati and Saraswati. So to please Parvati, you must be giving and generous. To please Saraswati, you must encourage education, the arts, and culture. When these two goddesses are happy with you, Lakshmi will be present and ready to shower you with her abundance. So, be loving and generous in your actions. Continue to educate and seed the imagination of humanity with great books for the spiritual and healing journey, and good luck will surely follow. I wish you all health, happiness, prosperity.